Hello, good morning everyone. Today we're going to continue with the Milestone 6. This time I saw 4 tickets and 3 of them is a new resources. Another one is for improving the UI itself. For example, the most obvious thing you can see here is that instead of sprite, I just straight away show what are the actual asset is, or what are the actual resources is. For example, we now know what are the twigs, what are the ubi badak, and what are the ubi gadung over here. And then we have a new resources, which is banana. And also we have let me scroll up a bit if we can see, for example, this one is buah kemunting, or what they call rose martil. And then I also add what we call it as wild figs or buah ara. This one has ripen rip mechanics, meaning in this game for now you're going to wait around 50 seconds before it turns into purple. So once it turns into purple, only then I recommended you to actually loot it, because if you loot in the green right now, it's not rip, and also it has penalty. This one something that you need to actually watch out. And then another resources that I put over here is the pucuk paku, or we call it as featherhead ferns. This one has a timer, which is after you load it for one time, you're going to wait for 72 hours in game, so it will spawn a new featherhead ferns. And let's play the game. I'm going to put camp over here, and then drying mat over here, and then what I call chopping block over here. So I don't want to starve, so let's loot something bigger first, which is ubi badak, and then someone else need to pick up the wet leaf and also the twigs. We're going to speed up the game. And someone need to dig up the harvest the banana. So you see in my UI right now, we have a Pisang Hutan. And then I forgot to mention, I think I also improved the timer, where you can see the minutes in game, and also we have game feed over here, game log, or we call it event feed over here. Because before this, when I try to make a devlog, I need to show you the terminal. Now I don't have anymore, because I just straight away show in the UI. And another mechanic is that if you hover to the resources for each of it, it will show you what are the item is and what are the weight of the item is. So you could plan ahead on what you want to gather in the game. Now it's already 11 something. Someone need to chop down the tree, and another person will need to chop down ubi badak. But okay. Someone need to chop down that food. And then we're going to chop few more trees so that we're not gonna die in cold during at night. It is not recommended for you to actually wandering around the forest at night in Malaysia because it's too cold. Or at least if you want to having a camp, I recommend you to have a fire with it. We have twigs, we have someone need to pick up T3. Yes, okay, 4 wood is much more better than nothing. Now we have 5 woods. I'm going to ignite it, and then we wait until next day. Going to speed up the game. Later on in the future, the banana is important for you because you're going to use their plant to actually do the actual plantation and also agriculture. But that will be in the next few milestone, not gonna be in this very close milestone. Now it's 6 a.m. We're going to chop down few more trees so that we're not gonna freeze at night today. And we have badak ration, should be okay to maintain for a while. Speed up a bit. Someone need to collect the wet leaf before I regret. I'm going to speed out the game. And then we're going to crop more tree. And lastly, actually, I want to show you the featherhead ferns because it has the what I call the timer for it to spawn for the next time. As you can see, it become darker before I just wrongly click it. It become a darker featherhead ferns because we're going to wait for a few days before it actually spawn back in the game. Now we have a ripen white fig, so I'm going to instruct someone to actually harvest it. Right now, the wild banana is not really what they call having a lot of calories because it has a lot of black seed in it. But I will think about how to actually make it much more realistic, like crossbreeding or genetic mutation and so on for plantation, so we can reduce the black seed and finally let people eat properly like we did in this real world. But that will be in the future. Okay, you see that after if manage to harvesting the wild figs, right? This one will spawn about 80 to 120 wild figs, despite a lot of fruits that spawn over here. Technically, each of it doesn't carry a lot of calories. Instead, the AI itself will need to consume multiple figs before it fully satisfy their hunger bags. And I think that's about it today. Yeah, they collect all of the wild figs and deliver to the campfire. And that's it. And for that, I will continue with the project board. Let me check a bit. So you can see here I managed to close around 18 stuff, which is technically it include the tickets and also the PR. And then after this, we still in milestone 6, but we're going to deliver another 2 tickets, which is the coastline and also coconut. If you remember, I've said it before, we're going to spawn the coconuts around sand area, which is very close to the what they call oceans, because that's where they live. And then in this ticket alone, going to process a lot of new things. For example, it could be a light source later on, and also it could cure the toxicity. And another biggest change that we're going to implement is the weather not actually weather shelter. Weather shelter is something that you're going to have a side effect later on. So what really going to change is not in this ticket, not in the coconut ticket, but instead in the monsoon harvest. Because in this ticket, we're going to implement the what they call weather cycle, and it's very specific for the several trees like rambutan and also jackfruit, but that going to be later after I complete the coconut tree. Coconut tree has a lot of things going on. For example, the charcoal, the oil lamp, and the trunk itself is something that I need to think about. And that's about it. We still in the milestone 6. We're not gonna go to milestone 7 yet, because milestone 7 has no new feature. Rather, it's all about factorizations of the codes before we dive into something much more bigger. And that's about it today. Thank you.